I'm Shelby. I am a 10-year entrepreneur going on 11 years. I'm an experienced small business development coach and grant writer, and I'm so happy that you have decided to join me today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys don't know me, I am always on YouTube for the last 6 to 7 years talking about grant opportunities for small businesses and startups. If you don't know what a grant is, grants for small businesses is free money that you can actually get to start your business or to scale the business you currently have. In today's live stream, I'm going to talk about how the winners win. And I'm going to stress to you, like from this point on, I'm going to stress to you about how important it is to take these tactics I'm going to teach you here today, like serious in 2026, okay? Now, in 2025, from my experience, like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. So I've applied to so many grants, okay, millions of grants, and I've won millions of dollars in grant funding for startups and like actual seasoned business owners, okay, so from all different stages. And something that I can tell you is 2025 was the first year of my 10 years of experience of me noticing that in November and December, there weren't many, grant opportunities to kickstart 2026. Also, in addition to that, majority of my clients that did win grants or the winners that won the grants that even I was in competition with, they were seasoned businesses who were already showing traction, have a growth plan, and can show sales. So we're going to talk about what a grant is, how you can find grants, and what you need to have before you go for grants. And then I'm going to tell you about what that traction word means, the importance of you knowing what that is, and what the grant funders are actually looking for in the grant applications, right? What they're looking for when they're saying, you must show traction or you must show us that you are in need of the grant, okay? So thank you so much, you guys, for joining in. I'm so blessed to have you here, okay? So if you don't mind, I would love for you guys to be interactive in the chat. This is a free conversation. Think of this like I'm like your business bestie, right? I have years of experience. I've done so many things wrong, and I've been able to problem solve and critically think under pressure to keep my business afloat for going on 11 years now. So I want you to please feel free and be vulnerable enough and trust me enough to be able to drop any questions in the chat, any business challenges that you're having. Pick my brain. This is literally a free pick my brain session as well, because you never know when your question can actually help someone else with giving them clarity, right? And developing their business. All right. So we're all going to help each other here. So yeah, Happy New Year to everyone who I haven't said Happy New Year to yet. I'm so blessed to have you guys here. 2026, we have millions of dollars available. Matter of fact, not just millions, we have billions of dollars available in small business grant funding. Grants, if you search what in the Google, what is a small business grant, it will say, the definition will say, a small business grant is in a form of a reward, usually money, that you can receive from a business entity like Apple, Google, Amazon, or Macy's or Sephora. And also you can get this money from your state and local government. So if you stay in, like, let's say Dallas, Texas, they might have a tech expo where they're giving all tech entrepreneurs $10,000. And then also you can get this free money from any other nonprofit organization or private sector or private investor that is giving out free grant money. Okay, so that is what a small business grant is. While there are other grants available out here, if you have any personal challenges, you have personal grants that are federally funded by the government that will help you out with rental assistance, food and WIC assistance, right? So that's like food and SNAP benefits. Social Security, things like that. Those are what you call personal grants that are federally funded by the government. You also have other grant opportunities for when you want to further your education. So those are Pell Grants or scholarships that you can go for, okay? So what we talk about on this channel and who I am targeting are entrepreneurs, startups, and small business owners who need this money to help them like fully fund their business, fully fund their idea, or just keep their business afloat. Okay, so that's who I'm talking to in this in all of my YouTube videos. Okay, so you know what a grant is. Now, grants do not check your personal credit. So as United States citizens, we don't have to worry about our Social Security being ran. You don't have to worry about any of your personal information being, in any type of breach, because small business grants do not require your personal information. They simply want to know, what is your business idea? What are you guys doing to help your community? So how is your business or your product and services impactful? And they also want to know, how much money do you need and why do you need it, right? So how are you going to put this money for use? So that is what a small business grant is. Now, you can find these small business grants by visiting these three main websites that I'm going to drop in the chat for you. So far, does anybody have any questions about what I just said? What a grant is? Do you guys pretty much know? And for those of you who always join me, thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't be nothing without you guys. I am so blessed to have you here. Denise, thank you so much for being here. Dana, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And may God bless you guys in 2026. May you have a really great start to your year. All right, so for those of you who are waiting in the chat, you can visit Hello Skip. You can visit, I'm putting it in chat, grantwatch.com or grants.gov. Okay, I'll put it all in the chat for you so that way you guys can have it there for you. You can simply screenshot this as soon as you see it come up on your cell phone or whatever handheld device you have, or you can simply take a picture now if you're watching me on TV. Okay, all right, so HelloSkip is a blue and white app. It's actually a business development resource tool, which is really cool. HelloSkip is a federally certified nonprofit organization that helps small business owners actually have access to multiple funding resources and also other resources that you might need to help you prepare for funding. They have a dashboard of about 10 to 20 grants every month that you can have access to. Because they are a nonprofit, they also have social media channels like YouTube and so many others. They actually share their revenue with their, subscribers and their audience and the people that are, on their app. So what they do is they give out a monthly $10,000 grant to anyone who signs up for HelloSkip. Now, initially, HelloSkip is free. You can use my invite code Superior Shelby. It's all in one, right, together in all caps. And you will have access to so much resources through HelloSkip, okay? So HelloSkip is really good. We had someone join us on live yesterday talk and say that they actually won a HelloSkip grant. So congratulations to them. I'm hoping that they ended their 2025 strong with that HelloSkip grant. But yeah, HelloSkip would be a place if you are a startup, you're just starting your grant writing journey, you are in need of some additional resources, you want some education. This is the perfect app for you to be able to go to learn and also to connect with other business owners too. They have a business directory, okay? So HelloSkip is one. The second one is grantwatch.com. Now, grantwatch.com is a $50 a month subscription. So that means that you do have to pay $50 every month to have access to hundreds of grants that serve in your business favor. What that means is when you are searching for a grant using their grant search engine or their tool, you will have to pay $50 a month, okay, in order to have access to additional information about that particular grant that you are interested in. However, GrantWatch is my favorite grant search engine. What they do is they will give you all of these grants and you have to go through each grant and find the ones that you like. What I do as a best practice is I find all the grants that I'm interested in. I create my own grant list or spreadsheet. And then once I'm done doing that, I just go through my own spreadsheet so I don't have to spend so much time going to GrantWatch every day. And I just apply to each grant line by line every day, at least one grant a day, right? We'll keep the business debts away. So grantwatch.com is going to be that second option for you if you are seriously on your grant writing journey. If this is something that you are taking serious this year and you are applying to grants yourself, that is a little tip that you can use, a little free gem that you can use, okay? All right, so and lastly, grants.gov. Grants.gov is the government website for all small businesses, or not just small businesses, but all businesses who are looking to do business with the government, right? So if you are into some sort of contracting, if you are looking to do something health related, that's where you will find those big multi-million-dollar federally funded grants for your business, and it does require you to be a seasoned business, a reputable company, before you decide to go for those types of grants in grants.gov. Okay. Majority of you guys in my audience, you guys are either just starting a business. All right. So you might be in your idea phases where you haven't registered your company yet, or you haven't gotten a business bank account yet. Or you are a startup, so you already have your business LLC or your registration. You already have your EIN number. You already have your business bank account. However, you are not generating sales, or you're generating sales, but you're not reaching those goals. Okay. So majority of my audience, that's who you guys are. And I know that because we ask certain questions and I'm able to identify that. I've been here for years, so I know who I'm targeting. Okay. So you know what a grant is. Grants is free money that you can get, no credit checks, no personal information needed. In the chat, I put 3 links that you can go to. You can visit right now so you can start searching for grants today. And then lastly, I told you that grants, I know where you guys are, so I'm going to tell you what you need for grants, okay? So before I move forward, I do have some questions in the chat, so let me go ahead and attend to you guys, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what you need before you go for grants, okay? And I'm going to also drop my number here in the chat. I'm dropping my number here in the chat. And the reason being is because for those of you who don't know, once I go into this conversation, I'll explain to you why I did that. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it at the chat here, at the top of the chat here. But like I started this conversation, you need to show what's called traction when you are trying to win a business grant, okay? So grants is a great thing. I've won millions of dollars of grants. I've literally traveled the world right now. I live in West Africa. I'm living out my dreams because of grant opportunities, and also teaching you guys about grants, teaching you guys how to actually apply to grants, how to read the grant itself, how to make sure your answers are strong enough to win. I've been able to live my best life through God's grace just off of grants. Okay. So I'm telling you now, don't sleep on it. However, you need to be in 2026. Long gone are the days. So let me tell you, these funders, whether you are going for a line of credit, a credit card, a business loan, investment capital opportunity, a grant, or even an accelerator program, they are no longer funding any type of business idea with just a business plan. Those days are over. In 2026, they simply want to fund businesses that can show business growth. Okay, business growth. What does that mean? If you are a startup that is not making sales, don't get offended by this message. Don't feel less than. Don't feel unworthy. Do not feel like this is not your place to be. However, you do need to have a growth plan, and you actually need to be executing that growth plan, and you need to show your work. Remember, we were in school. And, you would do math, right? And in math, they would always say this when we were coming up in school. Yes, you can use your calculator, but show me your work. Show me, how did you actually get this answer? Show me, how did you actually make these sales? Show me, how did you actually attract these testimonies that you have on your platform? That is what grant funders are looking for. Even loan officers are looking for. Even investment corporations are looking for too, okay? So when you guys say, I need funding for my business, I can't move forward without having any funding for my business. There's no way I'll be able to hire my team, get supplies and equipment, or do anything without having funding for my business. I'm here to tell you, it's time for us to work a different way, because they are not going to fund your business without you showing what's called traction. Traction, TRACTION, traction. Traction means that you're able to show sales. You're able to show reoccurring, let's say buyers, repeat buyers, or people who are interested. You might have an email list. You're able to show a growth plan. I'm going to give you the 5 key points that they are looking for when they're saying that they are looking for traction in your business. On the grant application, I get this question a lot. When you guys find a small business grant, let's say the small business grant is for $100,000. So there is a $100,000 to any small business in the United States of America, as long as you are based in the United States. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what ethnic group you are a part of. It doesn't matter what religion you're a part of. We have $100,000 we want to give you for free. All you have to do is actually answer these questions on our grant application. And then we would determine, based off of your answers, if your business is strong enough and is truly in need of this grant funding. Okay? So one question is, what is your business? So what do you guys do? What do you sell? They want to know that. Another question would be, what are your challenges, right? What are your business challenges? So tell us what's going on in your business. Why? Another question would be, how would you use this money? Another question would be, how is this money going to be impactful to you and your customers? Lastly, what is the traction in your business? What does your business do? Hi, I'm Superior Shelby. My business is a small business development consultancy and a grant writing company. We write grants for all small business owners and offer coaching to those who need strategy or critical problem-solving based whatever coaching to help them scale their businesses so they can be in proper professional positions for more funding opportunity. That's what your business does. Number two, what is your business challenges? Currently, our challenge is having a strong enough marketing strategy to reach the masses. We understand that we have a strong product or we have a strong service. However, with our marketing strategy that we currently have, we need help in either education or education towards a better marketing strategy, or we actually need the funding to go towards it. I'm just giving you a simple answer. That doesn't mean you would actually answer the questions in this way. I'm being clear and concise with you guys so you can have clarity on how you should be answering these free money questions. You're not losing out on anything at all. All you're doing is just answering questions, and then they will determine if you should get the 100K. All right, 3. How is your product? I think I said, how is your product or service impactful to your community, right? So with us being a small business development consultancy, right, what we do is we help those startups actually get started and execute on their entire to-do list that they already had since 2020. And we help them make sales. While helping them make sales, we put them in position to actually have access to more funding opportunities like grants, small business loans, and so on and so forth. It's impactful because the more and more, the more we're able to reach the masses, the more we're able to promote our services, the more people we can help, the more funding that can be out there, and the more small businesses can actually flourish, which means it will help the economy tremendously because we will have more stronger small businesses within their first 2 years that will be able to hire more people. And right now, during the economic world changes, right, or whatever's going on economically in the United States, not a lot of people are able to find jobs. Our business will help those have a job opportunity. Simple. You could go as far as that. You want to be very detailed. Okay. And then another question, now just get straight to it, is what is the traction? So how do you know that your business is actually like, they have another question is, what would you do with the money? I already answered that one, but what is the traction in your business? They will ask you this question. What is the traction in your business? When they ask you what is the traction in your business, here are 5 key points that they are looking for in your answer. 1, consistency or consistent sales activity. So even if it's something small, if you can show that you have been able to, within 7 days, get 3 people or even 1 person purchase your product 3 different times in 7 days, that's consistency. Consistent sales activity. Can you show that you've been able to make a sale? Mark Cuban says something, and I will bring it up every day. Mark Cuban says the number one problem with most small business owners that he sees from Shark Tank and even from his coaching program is that startups do not focus on sales. They focus on funding when they're actually working backwards, because nobody's going to give you free money if you cannot tell us that your business actually works. And traction in sales is the way that you do that. 2, customer proof. Customer proof would be like reviews, testimonies, or you can show a repeat buyer. So you might have a person that likes to buy your hair products. She is always buying your hair bundles or your wigs simply because she likes your product. Her name might be Ashley. She's probably been a repeat buyer of yours since 2023. That is one way you can be able to show traction. Number 3, delivery system. You all may be making money. You can be a hair braider. You can do locks and twists. You can be a plumber. You can offer a service like painting and wall mounting and doing all that stuff, right? You are actually making money, but you don't have what's called a delivery system, which means you can't express how you fulfill the order or the service, what's that timeline, and the quality control, what that looks like. So what I mean by that is delivery system means you can't thoroughly in detail explain how you are able to fulfill your product and service, what's the quality like of your product and service, and what's the timeline of that. You probably never even thought about that. You probably thought that they don't really need that. You probably thought that they're not asking for that. They just want to know, am I making sales? No, friend. They actually want to know everything about your business. And the more details that you give them, the more you are proving your case as to why you are deserving of the free $100,000 of the free $100K that you should have in your business account. Okay. All right. Financial clarity is the 4th one. So that's pricing and profit and tracking. All right. So financial clarity would be expressing what your pricing list is, why you're pricing it that, how much you're profiting from that, and how you're tracking that. So how do clients actually find your idea, right? So how do they find your service or product? And also, what is out of all of the things that you have prices, all of your offers, right? What is your main product or service that they are buying? And what is the profit from that? That's traction. And 5th is growth plan. Growth plan is how the money creates a scale and not survival. This one is key, the growth plan. I'll give you guys, I'm going to tell you guys a story of one of my clients. All right. She's still my client today. Right. Matter of fact, me and my company, we are actually applying to 30 grants for her right now as we speak, and I have a consultation with her later today. She's a hair braider. All right. She's a hair braider. She's been braiding hair for a very long time. And I believe she's one of the Black women that was actually economically affected by the federal job loss. Okay. So she had to go to her skill, which is hair braiding. She's a mom of, I think, 3 children, and she's also a grandma. Okay. And she's like 40 plus. So, she's doing her thing. She told me yesterday, I told her, about what we're doing. And I told her about, my new coaching program that I just reopened or whatever and what it looks like. She says, Shelby, I'm so excited to, I have clients and people, I've been talking to them about you, about your grants and about what this looks like. What should I do? Should I send them to the Grantfully website, or should I, what should I do? I said, actually, I have noticed that in 2025, most of you guys are not making sales, or you have no way of showing traction. So instead, I would rather us have a conversation about that. But what I can do is I can actually offer a free grant class. And then I can also talk to them about the importance of showing traction and how to actually win these grants, right? So I don't know if she was paying much attention. And actually, I want to go to the text message that we were texting yesterday so I can stay on beat here. But I want you to think about what the text message and what the conversation was like. I want you guys' full opinion about the mindset, right? And about maybe how she felt, because maybe this is how you would feel too. So her name's Sharon, and so she's like, well, that all sounds really good, Shelby, but how will I be able to show that you are credible? How will I be able to tell them that you are a credible person? Mind you, Sharon is a person that every time I do a free consultation with her, and I've done more than 3, I give her a strategy that she can execute on that same day. I give her at least 3 strategies she can execute on that, and new ideas that will help her start making sales that she can start implementing as soon as possible so she can scale. Now, she's been my client since October of last year, 2025. So by now, all of these strategies that I've given her, she should have implemented at least 1 or 2 of them, and she should be making some sort of high ticket sales. Because she's a hair braider, she also does things like, hey, patient Jerky 720, thanks so much for becoming a Superior Bronze member. Welcome to the squad. Okay, so you guys can do like super chats and all that stuff. If you didn't know how to do that, you'd like donate $1. I give it to these kids here in Africa. So, but back to the story. What Sharon did. Sharon is a hair braider, so she specializes in actually providing the service. She's also teaching other women in her city how to hair braid, right? And how to run a hair braiding business, because she's been doing this for a while on the side and now full time. And so I gave her an idea. I said, hey, in our last consultation, I said, hey, you need to break up like you don't have a coaching program, but your teaching program into part 1 and part 2. Yes, you need to express to them the importance of, what it takes to do hair braiding and the cleanliness and all of those good things. But in addition to that, part 2 can be more of what it takes to actually run the business itself, so they can, let's say, reach their first $10,000 or whatever have you within the first 30 days of operation, or 60 days, however long it took you, right? So those strategies and what you have implemented already, you should actually put that in a part 2. When I gave her that idea, she was mind blown, because she was only focused on teaching braiding styles, braiding techniques. And, she put it all in one. But but when she saw that she can do a 2-parter, then I deeply went into how to set that up with her. And I also explained to her how, she will be able to determine the clients who are serious about scaling and moving forward, because then they would have not only paid for that first class, which will be a lower ticket option, but then they would have been willing to pay for that part 2. That's really going to give them the business side of things, right? So you guys, the idea was brilliant. She already has the clientele. She already has the people that's actually going to, that she knows that she can market this to, right? With my client Sharon, what I think is that there is a piece of fear in her, in how she feels, right? There's a piece of fear in actually not only doing the free grant class for the people she's already told about, like what I do, grant writing and stuff, but also like there's a fear of accepting that, yes, you need mentorship. Yes, you need somebody like myself to hold your hand and to like, do it all with you. You don't have to do it by yourself. So let me go through the text message, you guys. This is tea. This is business tea. Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because some of you all may think like this. Okay. Let's see. I said, hey, Sharon, I have a new coaching offer that I'm focused on at the top of this year. I noticed that most of the small businesses that won grants in 2025 were generating revenue and had a solid plan of action for growth. Remember when I gave you so much great strategies on how to increase sales? Well, I've packaged that into a new coaching plan. I stopped coaching for a while to focus on the grant content. However, I noticed that most of the small businesses needed help in increasing their sales. While Grantfully is on a pause due to software licensing and updates, I did tell her that I'm pleased to share the gifts that God blessed me with by providing problem solving and critically developing a strong strategy for small businesses. One of my offers allows you to have me in person and act as a temporary CEO. Please let me know if this is something your business friends are interested in, and Happy New Year's and God bless. That's what I told her. She says, yes, we can all benefit from that. However, they are really big about integrity and credibility. So what do I say? Because so many are excited about the grant opportunities because we're funding our businesses out of pocket. So the pain point here is you're funding your businesses out of your own pocket. This is everybody on the live stream that's doing this right now. Everybody's spending money that they are working their 9 to 5 or doing small gigs on the side, and they're spending their money into their business. So this is the pain point. This is the problem. She said, even with increasing our sales through new strategies, we still have to use our own monies. Now, let me tell you about the mindset. I'm breaking it down because I want you guys to know that I'm a critical thinker, okay? By her saying, even with increasing our sales through new strategies, we still have to spend our own money. That means that you don't actually have what's called a strong profit scale, right? A strong profit scale, which means, remember when I told you guys, I'll get to that. But what that means is that you are spending a big percentage. So it can be 80-20, which means 80% of the profits go into your pocket and the 20% might go back into bills or whatever, or supplies and equipment because you're a hair braider. Or it can also be 50-50, where 50% of the profits go into your pocket. And then another 50% is paying bills because you got to pay your rent. You got to pay all of these things because you're a hair braider, right? So I said, okay, well, just by you saying that, I said, how about let's have a free class. So I was telling her, let's have a free class on Zoom with her friends that are interested in the grants. And then they will see value. And I said, I can educate them and help them answer any questions they may have. They will see value in our meeting. I said, trust in the Lord and he will give favor. That's what I told her. So in other words, no need to be afraid on what you should say to your friends or what you should say to your business friends that you have already told them, hey, I already told them about grants. I got them excited about grants because it's free money. So they want to know about the grants. What should I tell them now that you're doing this whole coaching thing? Well, you don't have to worry about that, Sharon, simply because guess what? We're going to have a free conversation with them. I'm going to teach them everything they need to know about grants, right? And then they should see value in the free things that I'm giving them. And if they see value in it and they want to have a one-on-one consultation with me, then I would tell them how to do those things. But you must trust in the Lord and know that the Lord will give us favor. Simple, right? So with her saying increasing sales through new strategies, we still have to use our own money. I said, right, which is what you are supposed to do. When you're generating revenue, you need to put a percentage back into the business. That can be supplies, equipment, education, hiring, marketing, and more. Making more money allows the business to grow based off of the growth strategy that you have. And I was like, there's so much you have to learn. You're not supposed to make money and just pocket 100% of the profits and put it towards bills. You won't grow that way. You will find yourself just working for the business, but never growing. This is how so many startups and small business owners actually get stuck. That piece I said there, I know some of y'all are sitting in that spot. You are receiving, you might have an Airbnb business where you are taking the profits from the Airbnb business. The only way that you are reinvesting into your Airbnb business is actually the cleaning fee. And you yourself might still be profiting the cleaning fee. The cleaning fee. So if you have an Airbnb, somebody paid you $3,000 to be able to stay in your Airbnb. What you're doing is you're pocketing that. You're pocketing it. You're paying the bills. So you might be paying the bills. Maybe it's like $200, if that, for the light bill. You might also be paying for the cleaning fee. It might be $300. But the rest of the money you're keeping. So that means you are pocketing about $2,000 from this thing. No. Remember when I told you guys about the 50-20-30 rule? Drop in the chat if you guys remember the 50-30-20 rule. If you don't, then I'll educate you on exactly what that is. So Sharon continues and she says, it's all a learning process for most. So that is her insecurity showing that, hey, I'm learning this thing. So sorry, my friends are also learning this thing too. So I don't know if they'll be able to really understand you. It's a thing. I said, that's why I'm here to help. She said, I don't profit 100% of my business. She was like, my percentage for my business is what keeps the business running. No. Let me see if we are back. No, not the light. I like the natural lighting. I don't really like this lighting. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let me see. Are we back, you guys? Let me know in the chat. Sorry. My internet's in and out. Let me see if we're back. We're back. Okay, yay, thank you. Okay, I think we're back. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for staying with me. You know, if you guys don't know, I'm in West Africa living my dream life. But sometimes the internet's in and out. But thank you so much for bearing with me. So what I was saying. 1 second. Of course, of course. Okay. So one person said in the chat, I don't know what the 50-30-20 rule is. Um, so make it a smooth transition and consistently reinvest and do the 50-30-20 rule. Exactly. We're back. I think we're back. Okay, cool. All right. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me bring up all of my systems back and reboot, reboot, reboot. Let's see. All right, cool. Okay, so the 50-30-20 rule, what I was saying, the 50-30-20 rule is pretty much when you would invest 50% into your business. Sorry, it's 50-30-20. Sorry, so let me get back on track. 50-30-20. All right, our friend Sharon says the percentages that she receives in profits, she puts it back into her business, or it's not enough for her to scale the business. So her mindset is she's already thinking, whatever I profit from the business, the money that I make as being on the payroll, I have to use that money to actually reinvest in my business. And that's a no-no. That's what you call the wrong profit scale. Profit scale would be 50-30-20. 50% goes towards payroll. Payroll will be yourself. So you will pay yourself 50% if that's how you want to set it up. 30% goes back into the business. That can be supplies and equipment. That can be education, like a coaching that you might be doing, or whatever have you. That can be uh, what is it? Your business bills and stuff, right? That 30%, all of that is supposed to pay your business bills, and it's supposed to like pretty much keep the business running and afloat. Also, inside of that 30% should be how much you need to put towards your marketing strategy. So if you're doing $500 ads or $1,000 ads or $100,000 in ads, well, that 30% needs to reflect that. Your 30% is your business bills, how much your business bills are. So if you are paying rent, if your rent is $1,000 a month for your suite or salon or whatever, your salon suite or your chair, booth, whatever have you, that needs to be factored into your 30%. If you spend about $500 a month on supplies and equipment like hot combs and sprays and all kinds of stuff, that needs to be factored in. If you have a marketing strategy where you are budgeting $500 a month, $1,000 a month, or $2,000 a month, that needs to be in your 30%. 20% is what's called your business savings. Rainy days happen, and you have to have that safety net and that cushion that is going to save you during those times where your business is not businessing. Okay? Yes, there are times in your business, and you will be able to identify that, where people don't have money. So in most cases, you would see around this time at the kickstart of 2026 or at the kickstart of the year, we see that a lot more people or consumers are buying, buying, buying. Why? Simply because there's more holiday sales. So it's after holiday sales. Two, everything's like cheaper from last year. Two, income tax time. A lot of people receive an income tax refund, and what they do is they like to spend their money around this time. So the beginning of the year, the first 3 to 4 months of the year, we actually see people spending a lot. In the middle of the year, you would see that it's summertime, so people are mainly spending money on things that would be family oriented, like going on vacations and going to Disney World or doing something that's like family value, but they have to really see the value in it towards the end of the year, because it's holiday time and it's back to school time. If it has nothing to do with tax-free back to school supplies, or something that has something to do with holiday time, like Halloween costumes and Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that, well, we see a lot of consumers spending money on those things and Christmas presents, which you guys are actually selling products. It can be skincare products, it can be toys, it can be anything in e-commerce. You would see spend money on those things because they're buying, gifts or whatever have you. But we also see that when it comes down to certain services, like even in 2025, we saw a lot of people do these do-it-yourself DIY nails, DIY lash. Okay, so you guys pretty much understand that, right? The 50-30-20 rule. 50% when you are receiving sales from your business, 50% of that. So if you make $100, $50 of that, if you make $100 from your sales, $50 goes towards you, your payroll, your pocket, whatever, you and the people that's on your team. $20 goes towards your savings, $30 goes towards your business bills or whatever have you. That's how that works, okay? 50-30-20 rule. Sharon here, what she's doing is she's using the money, or she has the mindset of thinking that the money that she profits from her business, the percentage of the profits that she gets from her business, that she has to use that money that she profits to reinvest in her business. Well, with the 50-30-20 rule, if you follow along with that rule, you'll be able to not only show traction, which is the main thing you need to show in order for you to win grants, but also you'll be able to show a strong profit scale that actually shows like you're able to grow, and you can start to identify what changes need to be made in your business. So if you know for a fact that 30%, that 50-20, if you know that 50%, let's say you want to take home $10,000 in profits every year, that's 10K. That 30% of that 30% that you have to put back, that, let's say your business bills and everything, let's say that's $5,000. So we already have 15K that your business needs to make. 20%, let's say your desire is to put $2,000 every month, every month, $2,000 or so into a business savings. Well, then that's $17,000 that your business, or more. So let's say $17,000 to $20,000 that your business needs to make every month in order for you to bring in a profit of 10K, in order for you to pay your business bills of 5,000, and also in order for you to be able to put 2,000 into your business savings every month. That's how that works. That 30%, remember that 30% is how much money you are going to put into your marketing strategy, which means if you're going to do coaching, seminars or virtual events and stuff, and you want to give everybody like, $40 at Starbucks or $20 free breakfast or whatever the case may be. Well, that is included in that. If you want to do a physical event, however much that physical event would be, let's say in the springtime or at the beginning of the summer, however that will cost, well, that needs to be a goal and that needs to be factored in. If you are a person that says, I want to do a speaking engagement for me and all of my clients, and I have priced out knowing that this speaking engagement is going to cost me about $20,000. That's renting the place, that's decorations, that's paying for speakers, that's all of that. If you know that you want to have this like summer expo, financial education expo, then you need to go ahead and like make a business goal for by May. You need to have made, or your business needs to have made, a certain amount of money to be able to have the money necessary to fund that $20,000 event. So let's continue on with Sharon, okay? Because we're going to continue with what Sharon has said. So Sharon's like, I'm implementing new strategies as we speak. I said, the money you pay yourself isn't supposed to be reinvested. You have to rearrange the business profit scale. She says, I agree. I said, another free gem, 50-30-20 rule. Candace, I give you so many gems, not Candace, but Sharon, sorry, I give you so many free gems. I seen somebody named Candace in here. I'm like, okay, I'm getting y'all names mixed up. Sorry. So I can't wait to hear. I told her I can't wait to hear about your strategy, how you're tracking the progress in your goals, how you're tracking your progress in your goals. No need to do it alone. I'm here to help. So what I told her was, we're supposed to have a conversation today, and I can't wait to hear about the new strategies she's implementing. And I can't wait to know like how far she's going to take or what she plans to do in 2026 with her braiding company, right? I can't wait to know how this works out for her and what she has been able to come up with. I'm not going to give her any more free game. One thing that I noticed, and you guys all know this as well, when you give so many free gems, people do not value anything free. I don't know what that is. I believe that it's simply because it's a pride thing, and you might feel like, oh, since you're giving it out for free anyways, I might as well just take advantage of it. But what you're doing is you're actually stealing intellectual property without even knowing it, right? Without showing any appreciation. You're actually unappreciative. I'm no longer giving free gems. That's just it. You understand? So while I am so happy that she has a new strategy that she's implementing, I wonder if it's a strategy I've already given her, or if it's one that's just, if it's a strategy that she has come up with that is just out of survival mode. There's a difference between having a strategy that is for growth versus having a strategy that is for survival. A survival mode strategy, right? A survival mode strategy is when you are under pressure, bills is piling up, debts are piling up, things, you are on the verge and on the brink of losing your rental lease. Things are happening. So what you need to do is you need to create another offer. You're going to do $65 braids. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to execute that because you have to pay bills right now. Things are getting, you have pressure on you right now. Versus a growth strategy. A growth strategy is one that's like, over time, we should hit this goal and this target. And if we stay consistent, obedient, and disciplined on this growth strategy plan, we will never have to, experience the effect of survival. You got to get out of survival mode. You cannot. That's so unfortunate, and that's so not fair to your business for you to play survival mode, hustle mode game with an idea or with the business that God has blessed you with. Seriously, you have to show commitment and you have to do right by it. It's like planting, right? It's like watering the seed that you have already planted and giving it love and care. But you're not giving it love and care. What you're doing is you're literally putting that seed in a pressure cooker and expecting it to grow a tree full of money. And that's not how this works. You have to put it in the ground. You have to water it every day. You have to give it some sunlight. You have to give it time to grow. And if you stay obedient and consistent with watering the seed that you have planted, you will actually see the fruits of your labor. Some of you guys are literally starting businesses out of survival mode. While I understand the circumstances, right? Keep in mind that yesterday we talked about the programming of consumerism, which means every day you might see a Starbucks or you might see this gas station and you feel the pressure of having to spend those $10 every morning to get that Starbucks, or you feel like you have to have a car to get you from point A to point B when there's public transportation for way less, right? You are literally programmed to believe that you need these things and it's a necessity, versus it's really not. Okay. And I understand that. And that's like waking up in a pressure cooker every day. It's unfortunate that you are treating your business the same way. So how do you possibly believe, or how can you believe that you are going to be able to break generational curses and barriers and you'll be able to create a financial freedom life for your family if you are consistently treating your business like it's a side hustle, like it's the drug game, like it's flipping things, like the guy in New York that usually, he opens his coat back in the 90s, he has all these things in here like watches, gold watches and stuff. You're treating it like a hustle, man. You're not treating it like a flourishing business. Growth strategies and growth plans, they know when you are answering these grant questions, based on how you answer the questions, based on how you respond to the person that you're requesting funding from, they can determine whether or not you have the cadence and whether or not you have an actual strong enough growth plan and business that is actually impactful and that is actually going to use this money for what you say you're going to use it for. In 2026, we are starting to see the IRS is identifying businesses what's called fake businesses. Because in 2020, during the COVID relief fund, so many people created these fake businesses. They got all this PPP fraud money, and they never actually had a actual standing business that was operating. So they were supposed to get that money. So the IRS is identifying more and more fake businesses. And what they're also taking into consideration as a fake business is you having that LLC for well over a year. Let's say even well over 6 months, and you never opened a business bank account. And in that bank account, you have never shown any sales. That is what the IRS is also calling a fake business, because you can't file taxes on it. You can't file taxes on a business that you're not making profits from. So are you treating your business like a hustle, like a side hustle? If so, don't register it. Be a sole proprietor. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. You don't have to get in this world of monopoly. You don't have to play the game. But if you're seriously looking to play the game, make millions of dollars, you are who I'm talking to, and I'm here to actually hold your hand through the entire process, which is why I reopened my entire coaching program. I have a pay-as-you-go affordable option where we have a 60-minute one-on-one consultation. I'm actually going to put the post up today. And then also, if you are one that just needs somebody to start the entire business, if you have the idea, but you don't have time to do things like the registration, whatever have you, I have an option for that. It comes with 4 to 6 calls. And by the 4th call, you should already be making sales. And then on the third option, which is called Supercharge My Business, that's for you all who already is generating revenue. You already have sales, but you're not able to show growth. You don't have proper systems put in place. You haven't hired the right team. You might not even see value in doing certain things, and I can reassure you on why you should execute on these strategies, because it will help you grow. Showing traction, showing growth, showing sales, showing consistent in sales, showing that your business is growing or you have a strong growth plan is how you win small business grants. Most of these businesses that won millions of dollars last year, you have multiple businesses that won. I've seen one business, it was a Black-owned company. She won 3 different grant opportunities that I even applied to. Each of them was $100K. She won over $300,000 last year. We know how. Her business is already 2 years or older. She's already making sales, and she's able to actually show her growth strategy. She's able to show from point A, we started here, point B, this is where we are. If you are a business owner, right, who is having trouble with these things, you're having trouble with critically thinking and problem solving, don't have no shame in your game. If you're having troubles with creating a strategy that actually is going to work, if you are a person that you created a strategy, you have a business to-do list from all these YouTube videos you watch and all these free virtual live events and stuff that you join, but you have a problem with actually executing it, and you need somebody to hold you accountable and hold your hand to get these things done so you can see the value in all of the hard work and the entire legal pad of to do things that you already have done, this one-on-one consultation is so worth it. So text #grants to my number. I pinned it up at the chat. You can also click the link in the description of this video and go ahead and book a one-on-one. Okay. It's actually right now limited time offer. It's 50% off. So it's $50 to do it. It's 1 hour, you and I ask you probing questions about what are your challenges right now in your business. Okay. And we just start from there. We start from where you currently are, what's going on, and I can actually help you. So you can text the number, text #grants to 855-731-1487, or you can simply click the link in the description below. And that's my Calendly link. It should be there. And you'll be able to have access to the $50 off, and it's 50% off right now. Okay. All right. So I'm going to answer any questions in the chat. Please drop your questions in the chat. Before we get out of here, I want you to drop your questions in the chat, and or any of your concerns, like whatever you have going on. Just let me know, and then I can help you out. I saw someone make a comment, so I want to be able to help you out. This is the perfect time to actually get me to help you out for free on YouTube. Okay. Grants is free money that you all have the ability to actually have access to, but you just need to be professionally and properly prepared before you go for these type of opportunities. Nobody in 2026 is going to fund your business, right? Whether that's grants or whatever have you. They're not going to fund your business just because you have a good idea anymore. Those days are over. All right. They want to give money to businesses who can actually show that they're actually doing things out here. And that's not just out here just trying to get money, because it's a lot of fake businesses. Okay. All right. So I see you guys are texting. So let me give you a text message back. Hey, here is my cooking link. Can't wait to meet you. All right. So it's limited time offer. It's literally $50 right now. So get in where you fit in, because after that, The consultations are going to be $100, which is still worth it. Okay. This entire conversation was very much needed. If you've been applying to grants, and also let me tell you something, don't waste your time in searching for grants and applying to them if you have not started catching sales yet. Don't even think about it. Don't waste your time in going for any funding opportunities if you have not made any sales yet. Why? Because what you are doing is you are wasting your time in finding those opportunities and applying for them just for them to turn around and tell you you are denied. They will tell you you are denied because you do not have a way to show traction. So, book a one-on-one consultation with me so I can tell you how to start making sales as soon as possible so you can show that traction and you can open up doors of opportunities in the funding world. So you can actually start getting approved for funding as soon as possible, okay? But you got to start making sales, okay? Nobody wants to fund a business that's not actually businessing, you know? All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. All right, so welcoming Tamara. Thanks so much for being here. Shamika Smith, thanks so much for being here. I'm having a difficult way of finding a grant to help assist with my licensing fees and paperwork, etc. So you can implement and structure your program, skills, training, and materials in travel. I think that's a two-part question. So your first thing was you're having a difficult way of finding a grant to help assist you with licensing fees and paperwork. Of course, because that is actually your business. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's your business responsibility. So no, they're not going to give you a grant for your business licensing and fees. Absolutely not. You should have already had those things done before you start asking us for free money. No, those magical days of giving you money to start your business are gone. Those magical ways or ideas of, oh, we're going to fund your business. We will fund your startup. What they mean by startup is you already have your licensing done. You already have your registration done. You are actually in operation and you're making money, honey. We're not giving you money. We're not giving you hundreds of thousands. We're not giving you even $5,000 if you can show us traction and show us that you have sales. So no, a grant is not going to fund you and give you money to start your business, like get an LLC. No, there's no longer going to be a grant that's going to help you with licensing if you are in, if you need like a health department license or something to sell your product. No, that is your business responsibility. Welcome to entrepreneurship. Buckle in, create a strategy, start making sales right now so you can start generating the necessary money to be able to pay for those things. Now it's time to get creative. Let's see how you persevere through your current challenge, which is finding the money for your licensing fees and paperwork. Okay. So your second part was so you can implement and structure your program, skills training, and materials and travel. So I don't know if that's like for me. Remember, I've been doing this for almost 11 years. So I've traveled the world doing this. But yeah, because it comes with what's called a growth strategy. I sat down, I generated a growth strategy. Instead of thinking of things out of survival, I created a growth strategy and I told myself exactly, I had goals. I created goals that I wanted to meet. And now I'm living out my dreams. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that it's possible. Okay. Um, Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I just started an LLC security company. Congratulations. Yes, that where I'm at, everything in place, just no contracts as yet. Okay, so what is the strategy for you to start getting contracts, Dana or Donna? Let's see. This is priceless information you're giving. Thank you. Glory be to God. The importance of the delivery systems and its impact. 100 traction. Yes. So yes, you need traction. Let's see. So I told you guys about 50, 30, 20. So let's keep going. Someone digital blueprints can I apply from Nigeria? Yep, but you have to already be making sales. So that's that. So true. High healthy 3 John 1-2. Welcome. Welcome. See, so it's after show don't value free. Yeah, I believe that's why It seems as though the average Joe don't value free. Yeah. Um, so Jewel Kitco says, hey Shelby, is it IT or it could be me? But when I click the link in the description, it takes me to Search Hound with different offers and promos. Okay, no, I updated the link. So try the link again. Sorry. Try the link, like refresh or go in the description below. I just updated the link. Okay, sorry guys. It's a Calendly link. I had to change it. What are your fees for creating a business plan pitch deck for your clients? So thank you so much for asking that question. I don't express my fees. What I'd rather you do is give me a text. Maybe we can have a quick 10-minute discovery call. But a business plan and a pitch deck is something that I'm no longer interested in doing just as a one-time thing. I have created a full bundle of it that needs to be done, right? So you might be thinking, well, Shelby, I just need a business plan and a pitch deck so I can write grants. Nope, no, that's wrong. You actually need to make sales. You actually need to make sales. So having a business plan and pitch deck, all of that's fun and dandy. But what are we showing in our growth plan? So those days, if you have been programmed and you have been listening to me consistently tell you you need a business plan and pitch deck, you need a business plan and pitch deck, I want you to go ahead and increase your wisdom and know that this is beyond having just the paperwork, which is the business plan and pitch deck. I cannot get approved if I cannot show traction. And that's where I want your head to be at, okay? I want you to start thinking in that way. So I would love for you and I to have a one-on-one consultation. Trust me, it'll be so worth it. 60 minutes. In this 60 minutes, you guys, this is what you'll get. I'm going to show you what you'll get. Let me bring it up. So what you're going to get, and I have 3 different types of coaching plans, okay? So let me go over the 3 different types of coaching plans, and then you guys can determine which one best fits you. But I highly recommend that you at least have like a one-on-one virtual call with me first, so you can have reassurance on one, if you believe or if you would trust that I can help you along the process, and then 2, you would see value in it, right? And then 3, you would actually have the right direction to go. So the first offer, right, is called the Pay As You Go Next Step Coaching Plan. All right, so it's $100, but right now it's 50% off, so you can pay $50 for a 60-minute virtual Zoom call. It's recorded. What you get out of this is business clarity and reassurance. So I ask you probing questions about what is your idea, where are you currently in your business, and what's going on. You get a customized step-by-step roadmap. Okay, so I will literally plan out a full step-by-step. It's kind of like, you would think of it like a to-do list, but it's cute and stuff. And it's a whole entire roadmap of things you need to done. You get a 7-day action plan. So it's about 3 to 5 tasks that you need to complete within 7 days, and you have to commit to it. You have to stay committed. You have to be obedient. You have to be disciplined, because this is what it takes to be an entrepreneur. All right, so a 7-day action plan I'll give you. Offering and pricing feedback. So we would talk about your pricing scale. We would talk about what are your offers. We would talk about what's your products, what's your service, how much are you offering, and we would determine how much do you want to make and what are those profit goals. And then lastly, I will give you one script of your choice. So you can get a DM script, so a script that you can DM people, or a sales script. So if you're like physically calling people and doing sales calls, I'll give you a sales call script, or a discovery call outline. So what a discovery call is when someone, calls into your business line, or they reach out to you and they want to have a free 10-minute, 15-minute call and learn more about what your product and service is about. Well, then I can give you that full outline, so that way you can catch that sale as well. Okay. Now, what I expect out of this 101, that's what you get just for $50. You get all of that for $50. Limited time offer is $50. After this month, we're going back to $100 consultations, okay? It's a 1-hour conversation, recorded, everything that you need. This pay as you go, $100 like virtual call event, this pay as you go option, which is very affordable for what I'm giving you, you have to be a disciplined entrepreneur. You cannot be somebody who's like, oh, okay, I'll have this call with you. I think you are the person that doesn't prioritize getting things done. You are the person that's going to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, and by time spring comes, so we'll be on spring break, and then you'll say, "Oh, Shelby, I'm back. I did everything you told me." This is not for that person. I'm going to give you a 7-day action plan. If you are ready to go and you are serious about kickstarting 2026, you are serious about reaching your income goals, then this is who this is for. Now, what I expect out of you is I expect you to show up ready and prepared in this virtual call. You must follow the directions I give you and execute them in 7 days. You have to follow it step by step, okay? Because there's a reason why. You have to send me the progress updates before our next call. So you will book another call. So yes, you will pay another $50, in this case, another $100, whatever have you. And in our next call, you would actually email me, or I would ask you, in an email or a text message, like, what's the update? Also, at the beginning of our call, I would ask you, what is the update? We will review what happened. It's a follow-up. I need to make sure that you are able to actually execute and be disciplined enough and obedient enough to help your business grow. Okay? Lastly, this is for disciplined entrepreneurs who take action, not somebody who just like to be on YouTube, get all this free information, create a whole booklet of a whole bunch of things that you can do and you will do and you thinking about doing, but you are not good at executing. That is not who I'm targeting and who I'm speaking to, okay? Please save me the time and save you the time. Make sure you are ready for this. How do you make sure you're ready? Prayer. Because if you scared money don't make no money, that's number one. Scared money don't make no money. That's number one, okay? But if you are afraid of what the amazing capabilities and how outstanding you can be, you have to pray. You have to pray that off of you. And you have to take a leap of faith, because that's what this entire entrepreneur journey is all about, taking a leap of faith. Okay? All right. So the second option, this is for most of you. It's called Start My Business. It's a done for you or done with you startup building plan, okay? You get 4 to 6 virtual meetings. And what you get with this one is I give you a business model and clarity and offer clarity. So what you sell and who to sell it to. So I give you that, what your entire business model could look like. We actually work together on that. You tell me how you want things to do. Do you want a subscription-based model? Do you want a pay-as-you-go model? Do you want a one-time fee? How do you want things to make look like? And who are you selling to? We do what's called a startup checklist and timeline. So the startup checklist is like, if you don't have these things done, like your registration, your EIN, your business bank account, you don't have your business plan, your pitch deck, and all of those things, that is all getting done in this particular package. If you already have your business registered, you have an EIN, you don't have a business bank account, or you have a business bank account and you don't have things like your website, business plan, pitch deck, things like that, you're not set up for business credit, all of that is in this package, okay? So we do the whole startup checklist, we complete that, and then we also do the whole setup timeline, okay? The first step is you have to book a one-on-one consultation with me. Right now, limited time offer is $50. The link is in the description, okay? Now, or you can text the number that's pinned at the top of the chat. Business registration support, that's step-by-step completion. I will register your company for you. A lot of you guys have great ideas and you're still working jobs. So unfortunately, you have been delayed in doing the business paperwork, and it's okay because I will do it all for you. That's what that is what comes with this one. Domain and basic website presence setup guidance. Okay, so I would actually do the domain for you and do a basic, website for you, so we can start using that to start gaining sales and gaining traction. Okay, so that comes with that. If you want something if you are a tech company and you need R&D team, which is research and development, and you need a team that is going to do your front and back end and your UI UX experience, all that stuff, I do have the team that can do that for you. Of course, I'm in tech as well. So those things will be discussed in this particular coaching plan as well. In addition to that, I'll do your business plan, I'll do your pitch deck, and I'll help you do what's called your sales foundation. So that's your pricing sheet, your intake and booking setup, and scripts. Okay, so if you are a person that's offering a consulting business, you're doing financial literacy, you're doing credit repair services, and you need all of your systems set up. So you need like a booking site set up, and you need to know what that script would look like to really help, get those answers, get those questions answered so you can like perform your service as well. I would do all of that and help you with that entire sales foundation as well. Lastly, first sale plan, right? Because by the fourth call, we need to have made our at least our first sale, okay? So first sale plan, it's with daily actions and a follow-up strategy. So I'm also telling you things that you need to do every day to get your first sale, and also how to follow up after getting that first sale too, so that can be a repeat client, okay? What I expect out of you is to attend the calls and respond within 24 to 48 hours. You complete the assigned outreach tasks, so that's posting, DMs, follow-ups, whatever I need you to do. You commit to the offer we build, so no constant pivoting. Constant pivoting is you may have a problem with staying focused on the day-to-day task. You after like 7 to 10 days, not even some of you guys in 3 days, you would pivot. You would pivot off of the original plan, and then you wonder why things are not working for you, because you're having a problem with actually staying focused. So I need for you to be focused. And that's the whole point. I'm here with you every step of the way. So I'm going to be holding you accountable and holding your hand. I know it can be a challenge for us to stay focused, especially with all of this social media that we watch for 10 seconds, up to 10 seconds at a time, and our attention spans are out of whack. But no constant pivoting, okay? You execute sales action between the calls, okay? So you have to execute the things like follow-ups and all of these things, and also do the sales calls as well. You have to do the work, and that's the whole point. I'm coaching you through everything. I'm teaching you through everything. All right, so stop procrastinating. Let's build it and get you paid. That is the second option, which is called Start My Business. The third option is for those of you who are already making sales. This is where I act as what's called a fractional CEO. So for those of you who are making sales, let me know in the chat if you are already making sales for your business, or if you are a startup and you have no sales. So put startup, no sales, or you could put startup making sales, okay? Drop that in the chat, because I want to know who's in here today, who I'm talking to today. So the Supercharge My Business package, right, is fractional CEO and implementation. So what I'm doing is a lot more than just, a business setup. You already got your business set up. You already making sales. You already doing things, okay? And don't forget, drop in the chat if you are making sales, or if you're not making sales. Let me know. I don't want to waste our time and our breath here. I want us to focus on who I'm talking to in this conversation. If you are making sales, then this will be really good for you, because you are in the process of, I'm making sales, but I'm having a challenge with growing. And this is Sharon, right? Remember we talked about Sharon earlier? This is Sharon. All right, so this program, I do your operations and workflow. So I break down your entire workflow and your day-to-day operations. I take a look at your marketing analytics review. So what was working and what's wasting your time and money. Financial structure check. So I look at your pricing, your margins, your cash habits, and your entire tracking. So I look at all that, your systems and standard of operations, and to streamline your business. So I take a look at those things. If you don't have SOPs, I create SOPs for you, so that way you have standard of operations, day-to-day things, or things that you have to do on a daily basis, or basically in order for your company to run and to scale. KPI dashboard and weekly priorities. So we take a look at that. Team structure and support. So I hire a team for you. I do the onboarding and accountability with them. I might train them, right? Execution leadership. So I help implement and not just advise. So I'm actually helping you do these things. When you don't have time to do certain things, I'm actually there acting as a partial CEO to get things done. So let's say you have a important sales call, high ticket sales call that you need to be, that might take you 45 minutes. Well, maybe I can do things like, all of the other things, your SOPs, or training with your team, your new team, or doing the hiring process for you, to be able to help you as that stand-in CEO, so we can get things done simultaneously and we can keep growing the business and moving the business forward, okay? Drop in the chat for me right now if you are making sales or if you're not making sales. If you're a startup and not making sales, drop it in the chat. If you are a small business and you're making sales, let me know in the chat. I want to know who I'm talking to, okay? Don't be afraid. Just go ahead and drop it in the chat. It's enough of y'all to be able to make a comment. Let's see. Execution leadership. So I help implement, not just advise. So, and then weekly CEO meetings and midweek execution check-ins. So every week we have a CEO meeting. So that's you and I. Every week we have a meeting and I tell you, okay, this is how much growth we've had. And we do midweek execution check-ins. So like around Wednesday or Thursday, I will say, okay, this is what's going on. Hey, I need this from you, whatever help. Like it's like a whole check-in, okay? What I expect is that you provide access to certain key business info to me. So if you're a payment processor, right, we can look at those things together, or you can give me access to those things. It is a contract that has to be done. You're open to restructuring and implementing new systems, right, that could possibly save your business money. You follow the execution plan and meet deadlines. You're ready to run your business like a real company, okay? You don't need any more advice. You need an operator. And so what I'm doing is I'm standing in as a CEO, fractional CEO, an operator to help your business actually thrive. You may be doing everything for your business and you are like, I can't do everything. I wish I had somebody or a partner or someone that can help me do the things that I don't have time to do so I can bring in sales. That is the whole point of the supercharge my business option, okay? And of course, that is the more high ticket option. So let me see who's in here that is a startup not making sales and who's a startup that is making sales. Drop it in the chat for me. Let's see if I can help you guys out. Business question. To pay yourself from your LLC, you have to book a ledger. So I'll tell you how I pay myself. Book a ledger that's just a lot. I'll tell you how I pay myself. What I do is the business that the money that the business makes goes into a business bank account. I have an ACH payroll set up where it pays me every week or bi-weekly, however you want to do it. But it pays every week on a certain day. And I start the withdrawal from Thursday. So by Friday, every Friday, I will get paid. And then because it's an ACH payroll, what it does is it shows up as like a paycheck in my personal bank account. That's that. So a book ledger, where did you get that from? I want to know. And what does that mean for you? No, I do. Okay, so our friend here says, no, I do need the bundle, LOL. She's like, I need the bundle. Okay, I got you, friend. Startup not making sales. Okay, so you're not making sales. So the first thing we need to worry about, instead of worry about payroll, honey, we need to focus on making sales. Another friend, startup, no sales. Our one friend says it's a startup, but we don't know. You're just a startup, but we don't. Are you not making sales or are you making sales? City of Faith Worship Center says, thanks so much for being here. Making sales, glorious print, pack, and ship. Okay, awesome. Okay, so what do we want to do to grow that, right? Startup, making sales. I loved your responses yesterday when I mentioned the concerns about financial difficulties of potential clients. Okay, thank you so much. And glory be to God. You know, it is God that orders my tongue and gives you guys the the ability to comprehend what's going on in our conversation today. That is a solid foundation. Yeah. Are you talking about my payment, how I paid my payroll? Yeah, because that's a business. That's how you do it. So yeah. So with you guys that are not making sales, right? What has been your number one challenge so far? And don't say funding, because it's not funding. Like, why aren't you making sales, right? So what has been the challenge? If you are a startup and you're not making sales, what's holding up the boat? Do you need reassurance? Are you afraid that you're going to make the wrong step? What does that look like? right? And if you are, that's the whole purpose of the one-on-one virtual call. Then the first thing I do is I give you business clarity and reassurance. Okay, I customize a full step-by-step roadmap for you. I give you a 7-day action plan. We actually start making progress. Okay, so I want to know, what's the holdup, right? What's the holdup? I'm going to give you guys some time to drop that in the chat, but keep in mind that the booking link is also inside of the description. And also you can text my number, #grants, and I'll send you the direct booking link right now. It's $50 for the one-on-one consultation call. All right. You need to be able to show traction. And what I'm focused on right now is I'm helping you guys like show traction. I'm helping you guys develop that. So it won't be like, okay, you keep applying to fund. Because what's happening is y'all are applying to funding and you don't see you wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time every time you are running your personal credit to get a loan or opportunity. You are wasting your time every time you are applying to a grant. You probably applied to 50 to 100 grants in 2025. You didn't get approved to not one of them. Why? Because you are missing showing traction in your business. Okay? So that's what we're focused on, making sales. That's insurance. So you're missing insurance. Okay. What else? What else is stopping you guys from making sales right now? Do you know? If you don't know, you can simply put, I don't know. I really don't know what's stopping me. I really don't. Then we need to have a conversation. Maybe I can help you out with reassuring you the reasons for why you are worthy of starting your business or making sales. I remember at one point in time, I was afraid to come on here and talk about grants. I was afraid to offer my grant writing program because I felt like, I allowed my doubts and fears to overcrowd my mind, and to make me start to feel like nobody's going to pay for someone to search and apply to a grant that they're not guaranteed that they can win. I truly told myself those things until one day I had to say, but I never even gave myself a chance. How could I just really talk down on myself and make myself feel so unworthy when I didn't even give myself a chance at even trying? So I put my faith and trust in the Lord, and I gave myself a chance. And now we are 10 years in, and look at how far we are. For low to no sales, is the marketing / promos and or lack of. So for low to no sales, is it the marketing? No, that's not always the case. It depends on, so that is a case by case basis. You might think there's a general way of thinking of this. Oh, I'm not making money, or I have low sales because I'm not putting money in marketing and ads. No, sometimes that's not it. Sometimes that's not it. Sometimes it's the pricing scale. Sometimes it could be your marketing message. So what about the marketing is not working? Or what about the marketing strategy is not working? Sometimes it could be you don't even have your systems in place so you can be able to handle certain amount of sales. So you're not even prepared for sales. So it's it's different, right? It's all different. Crypto Cakes Cartel says automation. So automation as in like systems. Yeah. So if you are in need of automation and you want to put AI in your business, book a call with me. I have the perfect person to get things done in less than 7 days. So you don't have to keep worried about that. Automations really do help. Follow-ups. Believe it or not, a lot of the time sales can be low because you're catching sales, and the low sales you may be getting. So let's say you got 5 people to make $100 each. So you made $500. But what you haven't done is you haven't followed up with them. But I know you haven't followed up with them because they haven't came back to buy anything. Or it's a thing where you don't have the time, or you haven't even thought about following up with them. Or when you follow up with them, you've only sent them one email, but you haven't sent them consistent emails. That's where automations come in. Well, automations will, and having the right systems will be able to literally. Have you guys ever shopped on Temu? And when you put something in your Temu cart, and if you do not buy that thing right then and there, Temu is going to send you 1,000 notifications within 24 hours telling you about that particular item that you have in the cart. You got to do that. Your business needs to be set up like that. Why? Because people attention spans are low. So you have to keep reminding them. If I have clients that pay for these consultations and they don't even show up because they totally forget that they paid for the conversation. And what happens is, if I don't follow up with them, even if I do follow up with them, they don't show up. Okay, cool. I've done my due diligence. But it's even a thing of, after they've missed it and I follow up with them, they would either not respond to me, and they would reach out to me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, a whole year later, and say, hey, I'm ready to get started, and act like nothing happened. Or two, it will be a thing where they will say, oh, sorry, I had something going on. And they would just totally forget about the cadence of reaching out before the book consultation so you can reschedule, right? But I still offer the rescheduling opportunity. People have short attention spans. And if you don't do things like follow up, that can be a reason too. I fear I need to advertise. Follow up with the complete set of technology. Okay. That could be a thing for you as well. Everybody has their own reasons for why they're not making sales, or why their sales are not scaling, which means you are catching 2 sales here, 3 sales here, maybe a total of 10 sales in 30 days, but you're not making those 1,000 sales in 30 days. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not reaching those goals that you truly see your business flourishing to. And it can be something very simple that needs to be changed, or something of a new system that you need to learn, or a new way of operating your business that you need to learn, that will help you become more effective and efficient, and that will help your business grow. Okay. And that is why I'm offering these one-on-one consultations. It's $50 right now. You can text the word grants to my number at the top of the chat, or click the link in the description below. Okay. So I'm happy to know that you guys are, I'm happy. First of all, thank you so much for joining the conversation, of course. I hope you guys receive a lot of understanding and information from this call, from this live stream. I hope you are reassured in knowing that there's no way you can win a grant, or you can get any funding. Okay, you are not going to get any funding if you do not show that you have traction in your business, that you're making sales. I hope you know that you are actually working backwards when you think that you need paperwork, right? Like you need a business plan and a pitch deck, or you need to have certain things, you need to have funding before you can actually start making sales. I hope you know that that is working backwards. Actually, it's time to get on the right path. I'm here to steer you in the right path, and we just need to focus on making sales. Okay, you know what a grant is. You understand you cannot win a grant. Let me tell you something. Your competitors, right? Your competitors are able to show traction. Your competitors, and I wrote this down. Let me see, where did I write it down at? Your competitors where did I write it down? Hold on, because I'm gonna tell you guys. And this is like things that I wrote down. Okay, funders are not rewarding potential the way they used to. They're rewarding proof, and proof looks like traction, sales, systems, and numbers. All right, your competitors are able to show traction, sales, system, a growth strategy, and numbers. They're able to show consistency in sales activity, customer proof like reviews and testimonies, delivery in their systems, financial clarity, and a whole entire growth plan. You are going up against, when you are applying to grants, when you are applying to business loans, You are in competition with other business owners who have receipts. And it's not just, oh, we made these 5 sales. It's we made 5 sales in the first 7 days, and by the 14th day, we made 21 sales. By 90 days, we had a community of over 200 people. We made $50,000 in sales. We did this, showing growth. That's who you're competing against. So if you got to get serious, you got to get locked in, and you have to get serious about what you're doing, okay? All right. So, any last minute, hey, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. Glory be to God. Um, Anything else that you guys want my help or need my help? Remember, it's limited time offer. You get 50% off. So it's $50 for a 1 hour consultation with me, 101 with me. Okay. So if you feel like this conversation is worth it, if you see value in everything that I'm telling you guys every day at 8 a.m. in the morning for free, if you see value in this content, if you see value in all of the things that I have educated you with, not only just yesterday, but today, if you feel convicted in this conversation, you should book the call. Don't waste any more time. Okay. I found it to be beneficial to collaborate with my competitors. We know each other's products and services and struggles. That's creative. Very creative. Very creative. Okay, so I am going to let you guys go for the day. Enjoy your Tuesday. Thank you so much for your time today, guys. Have a great this is 6th day of 2026. All right. So this is cool. We're gonna talk more. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time tomorrow. All right. And yeah, we'll continue this conversation, okay? I see you guys. Hopefully, some of you guys are going to book the consultation. I don't want to just see you here for free on live and you just take advantage of my intellectual property. I'm ready for you to actually start executing. I care about your business. I noticed that some of you guys are more fanned out about me than you care about actually your business. We can't do that. I actually care about you making money, generating financial, freedom for your business. So let's do it. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye bye for now.